Şuraya bakacağım. Dinlemem öyle. I love smoking Saddam. Catch me on the first flight back to Baghdad. I'm swinging Taliban. Strong smoking the Taliban. After a day down 9/11, back in Iraq. I swear about the Al-Qaeda, it's so fat. Once you join Taliban, you'll never go back. I think I fell in love with the Taliban. Smoke Team 6 patrolling the North Slope land of Pakistan. I never wanna be my son. Light it up on the balcony. I saw someone in the building across the way. It appears to be some type of situation. Hit up dispatch like I need you to send 4 troops to where I stay. Don't fucking play with me, operator. There's no time to explain. Any mistake could lead to it being our last day. They arrive in a Humvee, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's no time for mistakes. So I send the troops up to the 5th floor. And that's where we remain. There's absolutely no promises that it'll be okay, cause there could be enemies lurking in the shadows.
Cool. Everyone, just make sure you share that link, and we'll be going live soon. We're just going to listen to a few tunes. Just going to wait until 10 UTC, and then we'll be hearing about Destiny World.
Okay.
Slide through the grapevine, spar with my concubines, playing with some swords. I could have sworn I would have died tonight. Down there with some villains slinging dope, flavored kryptonite. Valley on the looter with a blade on his push bike, lurking underneath the warm heat of the summer night. Swarm of the locust mind, plagued by some black thoughts. Calm his composure, midnight marauder, blading me intruder. Ride slow when I ride slow. Luna, she's my lover dressed in blue. In the ocean, I was never blessed with a silver spoon. The ocean couldn't be without the moon. The tide flatter than a can of old coke, sitting pretty on the tabletop. I'm slanging dope to the pope, tie the noose in the rope. If I'm all out of hope and I really couldn't cope, yeah, I really couldn't cope. Yeah, I really couldn't cope. Yeah. You can catch me waving at the 7 seas, and no fucks are given to my enemies. I know how to breathe, I know how to breathe. And if I try to blade you, then you know how to bleed. I'll jump round, then I'll take out your knees. Fireball, jutsu, lemon amnesia. And my flow is so wicked like the witch of the west. And I know I don't do much, but
Okay, should we go live then? Dabs, you want to take it away, mate?
Yeah, guys, let's do it. Let's run it. Is it live, or are we waiting until like 5 or a minute? Guess we'll wait here in 9 seconds for the AMA to open up. Hey, Crypto Buddy, is that already running on the Sidekick channel? Oh, might have lost them.
So, hey, Dabs, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So the AMA stream is out of the Sidekick AMA channel, and it's live, yes.
Okay. Well, awesome. Let's do it. I wish I could see the chat. Well, welcome, everybody. We're over here with the Destiny World crew. I think we have the whole Sidekick gang here, so we're really excited about this one because they're one of the ones that's using Jumpstart. So we're gonna let them present themselves, talk about how they got together, their project, and then after ask some questions. And then if you guys on the community side have questions, feel free to type them out, and we'll make sure to get them answered. So let's see, we got David, Jesus, and who else? Crypto Wabbit from the team. Whenever you guys want, you can go ahead and start and introduce yourself.
Okay, shall I go?
Yeah, let's do it, David. Let's run
it. My name's David Martin. I'm the CEO and founder of Destiny World. A couple of my partners with me and founders, Philip, aka Crypto Wabbit, who is also the CEO of Fortis. What shall I start? I'll just explain a little bit about how we met and how I started investing in crypto around 2018. I met Mad Felly and a few of them on some project we were investing in. Via that, I found Telegram and then just started joining groups and for a couple of crypto projects. One of those projects and that's when we become friends and started talking about. There was a lot of scams going around at that time, getting scammed to create something that our friends can join and the community, we can someone they can trust their funds with. During was connected with Telos at that time. He'd been there a little while. He was connected well with, and he suggested that we build on Telos. He showed me what Telos was building, bringing to the table, and the EVM that they were going to launch, and that EVM is actually launched now, which is a big part of why we're coming to Binance Smart Chain. And during that time, we also met Jesus in another group, come to us and talked about wanting to create a project. Random, actually, we met in a chat group, and he asked someone how to create a token, and from there we now have 40. This has come to tell us and work with us, and we're collaborating together and building. We've been on Telos roughly for around 1 year now. With them, we built partners. They've backed us with multiple AMAs for us, and we're really excited to start using their EVM and go and launching what you see that we're pitching today, Destiny Airlines. Passionate about, we think it's unique. You'll see why in a little while when encryption, but we think it's unique and it's something that's not like on Binance Smart Chain. I think it'll be great to be a hub to host lots and lots of projects and launch them into our metaverse, and take their NFT multiple blockchains. So that's me. I'll pass Jesus, Philip, whichever one of you want to go next and talk a bit about yourselves and explain a little bit.
Hi guys, Crypto Wabbit here, or Philip. Am I audible, by the way? Is it good? Yep.
Yeah, we can hear you clear.
Okay, nice. So I'm the CIO of Destiny World. As David explained, we met a couple of years ago. I'm I was a completely nub or newbie in crypto at that time. I had a lot of misconceptions. I basically stayed away. But nevertheless, I came from IT. I have, give or take, 25 years of experience from IT, large businesses, enterprises, basically all the big systems you can think about. I've touched that somehow. And during 2020, I met David. He introduced me to the crypto space. I got scammed a couple of times, of course. Um, and during that time, we figured out let's build Destiny World and teach people how to go mainstream and to recognize typical scams. Teach them why safety is important. What is a staking platform? What is a mining platform? Things like that. Um, Try to make them understand that we're still premature, all the options, all the possibilities. And during that projecting or planning of what we wanted to build, we also met Jesus from Fortis. And I guess we can just introduce you as well, Jesus, and then we can go into details.
Yes, hi everyone. My name is Jesus Soredo, and I'm the CEO and founder of Fortis. And basically, the idea behind Fortis is that we're trying to build a decentralized financial institution. My background is in business and economics, and I've always seen that there's a lot of potential out there, and traditional financial institutions are something that are very opaque in some sort of way. So since that beginning, I've always been interested in creating like some form of decentralized institution where at the end of the day everybody can keep their identity, everybody can custodize their assets and everything like that. So that's kind of basically what we bring in. We want to bridge fiat and crypto as easy and user friendly as possible. And yeah, I was looking for a place to build for this. I was also an investor as well. I've been involved into crypto for quite a while now, and after so many rug pulls and so many scams, I found David and Crypto Wabbit. When they pictured me, what Telos could create, what Telos could offer in terms of technology, I was a little bit skeptical because it sounded too good to be true. And well, here we are a year later, working together because well, we've realized that us three can bring pretty good advantages to the crypto market, and that's why we're launching Destiny Airlines together.
That's awesome. One thing I heard common there was the whole like being tired of getting scammed and rug pulls, and that's essentially how we all came together was the same idea. And that's one of my favorite things about some of the things you've said is that you're trying to help like solve that issue by putting a real product out there and know that there's actual people that are building honest products out there. One question I have before you go into it is why did you choose the Telos blockchain? Like I've never actually heard it prior to this. I thought it was like Tezos for a second until I was like corrected. So yeah, I was curious about that.
Wabbit.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, I came into the crypto world in 2020. So at that time, we had a bunch of different types of protocols and blockchains. But we have Bitcoin and we have Ethereum, which created the virtual machine, and then we have something called delegated stake of proof, and we have Stellar Consensus Protocol. Those blockchains. So in order for our minimum viable product to work, prototype it, we needed a blockchain that disallowed front running and also had fixed gas fees. So it was strictly deterministic. And that's why we chose the EOSI blockchains, and then we chose Telos because they were a little bit ahead of EOS. That's a personal opinion. So we're prototyping there, and now we're going to EVM. And through the EVM deployments, we're going to basically support whatever EVM blockchain that is compatible with Ethereum, basically.
Okay.
Adding a little bit more to that, from my opinion, I think Telos it helps projects target a market that doesn't have as much capital expenditure as other individuals, because the native side of Telos, you don't have to pay for any gas fees as long as you delegate your Telos, and we're talking about transactions that are super fast. So it brings, you know, some extra pieces of technology that you can all build in the same blockchain, and I personally think that that is something very beneficial for projects that want to build on a blockchain.
Yeah, no, that's exciting. I'm definitely gonna do my homework on it because I that's one of my favorite things. I'm like a big ETH head because of the technology aspect. Like I'm a big crypto person that believes in the technology and not necessarily like the get rich overnight scheme that a lot of people think it is. And that's why for me it's very important to find projects that are actually bridging the gap from that culture and trying to bring BlockFi first instead of, you know, the monetary value that everybody wants to get rich overnight. And yeah, no, so I'm excited. I'm gonna look into that. That's awesome. So yeah, what is Destiny World? I see that you have a whole ecosystem about it, so I'm curious to hear more about it.
There you go, Rabbit. You can share the screen and talk about the campaign.
Yeah, I can't share my screen because everything gets stuck. But Destiny World is the ecosystem that is connecting blockchains or connecting technology and people. So what we're doing is that we're trying to find the relative advantage of what's not and what's out there. And I mean, a lot of the projects that you see, hundreds getting deployed daily, they are just forking and switching colors, switching fonts, switching typographies, and just copying everything else. We're trying to think into the future and figure out, okay, how can we develop something that has a relative advantage? And we believe that by connecting things and making those connections easy for mainstream adoption. So we're kind of trying to prepare the community, prepare our grandmother to use those terms for blockchain technology. And that's not only about staking, mining, all those DeFi things that people think now. It's not about collectible NFTs. It's about so much more. So we're basically building hubs and bridges with the easy user interfaces, and it should be transparent, and it should also be for non-techies. So yeah, that's why we're coming to BNB now. We're adopting that cross-chain culture.
Yeah, no, I'm all with that. That's one thing that I always want to tell my friends is like, we want to make something that is user friendly. Like when people open up Facebook and you can just, you know, where to click, what to do, how to share. Same thing, same experience. So yeah, please continue. That's awesome.
Yeah, we have this. I'm a tech guy, so as I told the guys, I have 25 years of experience from IT. I've seen most of the systems from pre-90 until now. I've seen what works and what not works in different types of industries. And I think one of the visions that we have from the tech side is that we should not only have a user interface that is friendly, but it should also be friendly for the system devices. So let's say that you're minting multiple NFT collections instead of building multiple websites and loading up multiple applications. You can run everything within one framework. Modular, it's factored correctly. It uses ANI patterns for if you understand what that is. I'm really diving deep now. And it should be transparent. And by transparency, I mean that you should not be you don't need a knowledge of what is BNB, what is Ethereum, what is Telos, what is Polygon, Matic, whatever. It should be one interface, easy to use. And we're waiting for one wallet that is actually so easy to use that it can go mainstream. And that's where Fortis comes into the picture. So yeah, we have a strategic partnership with them. They build all the fintech stuff we have. And ecosystem, we have everything. We have GameFi, SocialFi, DeFi, and now we're building more utility across blockchains through Destiny Airlines. So I don't know. I can speak for hours. I'm a preacher, so I guess I need some.
Yeah, no. So let's see. I see. Let me go on to it. I have the campaign on right now. So I did see you guys have a partnership. So Jesus, what's the wallet that he just mentioned?
Yeah, so right now we're in the stages of creating a decentralized wallet that is self-custodial. The idea of this wallet is that we want to make it a social wallet, going with the idea of making it very simple and user friendly, mainly because people don't have the time to actually research and see how things actually work. So it has to be done in a way that, pressing a couple of buttons, you'll understand what you're doing. Majority of users today, when they buy a smartphone, they already know how to use it. I don't have to go through any manual instructions or anything like that. So that's the aim of our intentions with the wallet. We're creating a wallet that will work multi-chain, and we're incorporating a way in which users can make their public keys a username, and we can achieve this thanks to Telos native, so it will run straight through the blockchain. The easiest way to understand this is unstoppable domains, but on asteroids. That's how we like to call it, mainly because we don't run this through smart contracts or anything like that. Our intentions is that hopefully there's nobody from Fortis looking at the stream, but it's going to be a modular wallet. So it will have a marketplace. Let's just put it this way. I can't say much else. And that's the idea behind it. We're gonna combine everything that we do with Destiny World, so that everything can run from one application. Um, and that's it pretty much. I don't think I can say anything else. Well, I can say that we're planning to have the first beta testing in January, so
Okay.
anybody can just apply to it and try it out. And then hopefully everybody likes how it goes.
So for the people that want to try it out, where would we have to go?
Well, we're in the process of creating an application form, so that will be released through our official social channels, mainly Twitter. And then you'll be able to apply, and then if you get elected for the first batch of users to test it out, they'll just get an invite code and they'll be able to join. And then you'll
Awesome.
see, and then in there you'll see all the stuff that we'll be building with Destiny Airlines and Destiny World.
All right. Well, Jesus, like you heard it here from Jesus first. So anybody in the chat, go follow the Twitter. Just make sure you can put it up on our Telegram channels. So for people just easily follow and just sign it up. And for me, that sounds like another thing. Like another thing that I've actually been looking into is a wallet that can do more than just being a wallet. I've seen a few of them. So yeah, no, that's exciting. I'd love to see if I can test it out myself. And then let's see what we got. So that's what the Fortis Technologies is, the partnership. So why don't you go into one of the, I guess, some of the ecosystem you got going on? I see that you got something like Journey Builder, the MetaVoid. You're basically trying to tackle everything, which is a great thing for the wallet incorporation, because it makes it to where a user can just go onto the app and just have it right there without having to worry about running into a scam, getting the wrong contract address and stuff like that. And that's one thing that, like, for me, again, it's I love wallets that have that incorporated into it, so it reduces the risk of like user error when like the trust, like I guess the wallet has its vetted partners or projects.
Should I start with the ecosystem, Jesus, or should?
Yeah, please.
No.
It looks
Yeah, okay.
interesting.
Yeah, so we started to build on Telos. You guys know that we built on something called Telos Native, and what we did was to investigate or actually being fascinated by scam systems on Tron. Why were people scammed every second week using the same system, just different websites? So we tried to find that marketing strategy they used to adopt people, user adoption from those scams, and then we tried to incorporate a flip side logic where the system or the protocol was kind of immutable. So that's what we built on Telos Native. We built a system for people from countries or regions with a lot of poverty, with less investment capital. We made a lot of conditions, and we wanted to create a sustainable system where they could actually earn tokens for free, use those tokens inside the system, and actually earn money on it. And I've been hit up a dozen times during the past year with people from different regions. They're just excited because they make $1, $2, $8 a day, and that's enough for feeding their families. So it's an auction staking tweaked platform. But we also wanted to extend that platform because we have a learning curve. So we built a first introduction of just simply using your tokens, and then we wanted to teach people what is mining, what is staking, what is farming, what does it mean, how to recognize them. And we also introduced something called meritocratics, which comes from the SCP protocol, or Stellar Consensus Protocol, which means that diversity from your user actions, daily actions, is kind of creating some randomness and diversity, which is very important. Because we are also collaborating tokens, we also have this vision of combining those tokens into one token stream. So we have mechanisms for weighing them in case it's the market conditions is stressing the system for one token, etc., etc. So there's a lot of stuff going on inside that MVP that we built in Telos Native. And that's what we're deploying in version 2 on BNB, because now we have this micro scale system that is working, proven to work. It's working for people without investment capital. And now we're moving that to BNB and also adding a more complex logic, not necessarily complex, but we're also adding a passive income stream into that. So that is the return of investment decentralized application. And this is not financial advice. ROI is just a formula for giving you a ratio of your investments, non-financial advice. And then we have the other thing that these applications is solving is that we know that a lot of projects are having an idea, and the first thing the projects are asked is, okay, what exchange are you going to list your token on? Where is the staking platform? Where is that? Where is that? Where is the rewards? And that's stressing the project, and they're focusing more on listing it before they've actually had the product. So one part of the ecosystem is to create utility for projects. So the project can focus on their core things, and we can bring them utility. That's also something we can stream into the system. And because we, how to say it, digital asset needs some value. So we have intrinsic values, which is the value from within, or the dreams, hopes. We have the use cases, which is basically in real life economy. The more utility, the more consumables you have, the better the economy works. And we have instrumental value, which is difficult when we're talking about blockchains and digital tokens, but we solve that by NFTs, right? You can bind something instrumentally into the NFT with attributes. And for all this to work, you need diversity and utility. And we have that for tokens, and now we are bringing that into NFTs as well, because there's a lot of good NFT projects out there. But somehow some of those projects are kind of idling or in hibernation. So we're bringing utility for NFTs as well. And we believe that the Journey Builder, which will be a adventure protocol, could bring that utility into NFTs. So you can basically build an adventure inside the Journey Builder, and then you can whitelist your NFTs, and then those NFTs could try to fulfill that adventure. And on the other side, there's a reward. So what kind of reward has a relative advantage over just migrating NFTs into new NFTs? That is by bringing those NFTs across blockchains without actually bringing them across, and also introducing metaverses. So that's what Journey Builder is all about. You can have NFTs in one blockchain, you fulfill a journey, and then you get access to a metaverse and multiple blockchains, and everything in one interface, one wallet, grandmother friendly. That's the idea behind Journey Builder, basically.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that thought. So does everything kind of feed into each other? Is that how it works? Like with the MetaVoid, the MetaCity, and the ROI DApp?
Yeah, MetaVoid is we have a professional game designer in Ukraine, actually, in Dnipro. He built about 40% of MetaVoid, and we're going to connect MetaVoid as a play to earn game with everything else. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So this is another part of the ecosystem.
It is. It is. We're connecting that into the ecosystem as GameFi.
That's awesome. Okay.
So in Metavoid, we have everything from, I mean, avatars, like figures, you can action heroes, weapons, spaceships. We have planets, solar systems. So the way we're thinking with Metavoid is basically the way everyone's thinking about the metaverse, is that you can actually have land in that space, and then you can do whatever you want with that land, and perhaps utilize it in some way that rewards you, as well as playing the game.
Yeah, no, I've been waiting for that. That's one of my things that I haven't seen anyone really hit the target on it. I'm curious, have you guys done any testing on it? Is it like how you said he's almost done with the product, or exactly where are you guys on that phase?
There's a video actually. Can we pull that video up, or
Yeah, we
is
have
it
a
on
video
the
in game.
screen share?
Yeah, I saw it. Crypto Buddy, I think he's got it. Yeah, so yeah, play that because I saw it and it looked really awesome. I saw everything and I was like, man, this looks really cool, and I'm excited to like know how much of it is already done because I want to hop in.
About 40% of Metavoid is done.
Oh man, that's awesome. Yeah, so go ahead and play that video, Crypto Buddy, for the people that haven't seen it yet.
Okay. Can you guys hear it?
Yep. Yeah, I think you can actually pause it from there because that goes into the whole meta city, right? Yeah, so yeah, go ahead and pause it, and I guess that's something we could just do right there. Let him explain it, and then we do the video presentation. So yeah, no, I'm loving the graphics on that. 40% done. That's exciting. So yeah, so let's I guess go into the next one, Meta City. What is Meta City exactly, and what can people expect from it?
I think you should cover that, Hasu.
All right. So the idea behind Metacity is that we're gonna try to build a representation of the actual economy that we live in, where people can have actual jobs, people can get paid for those jobs, you can buy land, like an actual Grand Theft Auto theme, but with the idea that it's gonna have some dollar intrinsic value, for example. It's something that it will have an actual political system where people will be able to vote for candidates, and that will depend how the game will develop. And I think that's something pretty interesting because I haven't seen any sort of metaverse yet that has tried to do that. We know that it's something challenging, but if it works in the real world, why can it not work on the metaverse?
Yeah, no, that sounds exciting. I haven't seen anyone do it particular like that. It gives me like the Sims vibe where you kind of have like your own life. You have to feed it. You have to make sure that you're doing these things. So that's another thing that's exciting about that. How are you guys doing it exactly? Do you guys have is the game any different from the Metavoid? Like, is the time frame different? Is the same guy developing that? Does that exactly work out?
So we have one developer working on Metavoid. He's a professional game designer, and we have one developer that might be interested in developing MetaCity. He's also a professional 3D designer, but it all depends on the funding actually, because depending on the funding, we're able to either sequence all development or we can run it in parallel. So yeah, that's the hard
Okay.
reality of development.
No, I got you. So marketing is going to be huge on this. So yeah, no, that's completely like understandable. I've done a lot of these type of things, and I mean, when you have such a great product, you gotta get the funding for it. And luckily, Cause was able to create this. So we're grateful that you chose Jumpstart to kind of start it up and see what we can do with it and try to get the investors involved.
Another thing that you
And
can also see in Metacity, sorry, so is that we are all about awareness, right? We're connecting the technology and people. So we're also building something called portals or gateways inside Metacity. And the idea about that is that within this master hub of metaverses, you can actually port into another metaverse. So let's say that you're porting into the Sidekick metaverse. If you guys are building that, you can do that from our portal. You can have your own Sidekick tower with your own businesses inside there where you actually earn some sort of social or GameFi rewards inside of Metacity. Let's say that you find an ATM inside Metacity, you go to that ATM, and then you have the wallets, so you can actually transfer funds, buy NFTs, whatever. NFT markets, culture, theaters, where you can observe whatever you have on the blockchain, things like that. So it's a lot of things we can add as features in because we're on the digital technology.
Okay,
I hope I'm not
okay,
saying too
that's
much now,
awesome. Just like it. It's like I don't want someone to come up behind me and mug me while I'm depositing my money now.
it can happen.
So it can. I was curious. We got the hunters.
Yep.
Perhaps we
Yeah,
can have that. So
Get some security.
yeah. I was gonna say that kind of the most exciting thing for me is that big shout out to Crypto Wabbit for it is that it's sold a sustainable environment, and I think that is something very important in crypto. We've seen a lot of GameFi, a lot of like social fi, all these different fis, but after some time that they've been in the market, they always tend to go in a negative way. And our intentions is that we want to make it sustainable in the long run.
Yeah, that's how it for me it's the only way. It's not about the quick gains, it's about being able to, maybe even outlast you, like that generational wealth. And if you can find some great products that have already been doing it and can continue to do it, then those are the ones.
and then the big
So
question
it's
is how to make things sustainable, right?
yeah, I mean if you says tell us, I mean, is it scalable? How's it working? So yeah, I mean, you said you've been working on it for a while, so it must be scalable.
Yeah, I mean, just think about vehicles or cars. You have a Tesla, you have a truck, you have a Ford, you have a Toyota. They're all running on the same roads, right? You don't need to invent new roads if you invent a new car. So just flip it around and try to observe the space from different angles, and then you will figure out, okay, what's missing, what's not missing. Because
Right.
I don't know, I'm a little bit geeky or nerdy because my brain is assembled that way. But I mean, if you think about blockchains, it's I call it a very advanced version control system. It was invented in the 90s, and it was invented because two parties had a need of a immutable or untamperable contract between them. So that's why blockchains were invented with this technology. And then Bitcoin tokenized it with actual digital currency. And sometimes people say that the world will be tokenized, but the world is already tokenized. If you look
Yeah.
at physics, if you have a sender and a receiver, it needs a bearer. That's a token. And then you can add attributes to that token. And the blockchain gives us that opportunity to add attributes. And it's only your own creativity. There's no limits, basically.
Right. Yeah. No, I love the way you're explaining that. I think I could listen to you talk all day because I'm such a huge tech about like geek about blockchain. And that's one of the things that keep me doing this for like, it's my passion. And I can tell that you're also passionate about it. So yeah, no, I can listen to you talk about that. I like the analogies because for me, that's one of the biggest things that I try to find when helping bring people from Web 2 to Web 3, even if it's someone as my friend, my mom, my grandma, my sisters, my brothers, anybody. It's just trying to bridge the whole tech terms and making it so they can understand it like as if they already understand the whole world as it is. So yeah, no, that's awesome. Crypto Buddy, I guess you can just go ahead and hit play and let's watch that Meta City real quick. And you were saying that we could, like, Sidekick have our own tower, like, in there, right?
Yeah, I'll actually just say this is like actually a hub, a portal for connecting other metaverses. We already have the name, but they're a poker casino that's been set up on Binance Smart Chain, that by Brazilian poker champions. We have a GameFi NFT art metaverse, so we've already got a couple guaranteed to connect into the we're talking to. So it's going to be like a hub with portals where metaverse would go for a portal to another project, to a portal to another project, so it's all connected.
I love that. It's given me that Destiny. It's that game on Xbox 5 where it's like everybody had their own missions, but there'd be a tower where everybody just meets and socializes. Like they're so, they're everybody doing their own thing from all different parts of the world, but they would all just come to this tower and like, just like you're saying, like a social tower. And I love it. I love the idea.
Yeah.
And I think that's the portal right there, isn't it? That square with the blue.
This is the portal into the cyber chip, which is talk about. That's going to be our first NFT project on the Journey Builder.
Well, that's exciting.
I'm quite impressed by that video as well. It looks amazing.
Yeah. When I watched, I was like, dang, like, is this all different parts of the ecosystem? Like, and then as soon as the next video, I was like, no, this is like what they're doing, like each different product. Like, this is neat.
That's how we want it. We want one large ecosystem with portals where you can go from one seamlessly and connecting with other projects within that ecosystem seamlessly.
All right, let's see. So I guess we can go over the fundraising, the different tiers and what exactly people would be investing into, and so they can have a better understanding. So I guess we can either go through Crypto Buddy's screen since he already has it, or if you guys want to pull up. There we go. No. Yeah, Crypto Buddy has it right there, actually. So yeah, just kind of go over different tiers, how much they are, and some of the advantages that investors should look for versus like the other ones, I guess you could say.
Yeah, so basically, we would like as much as possible of the proceeds to go back to the community and to build and continue building, like CI/CD, continuous integrations, continuous development, continuously development deployments. So on the NFTs, we have some perks. I can't read that screen now, but basically we are going to have a ecosystem token on EVMs. We already have system tokens on EOS.io. That's Fort and Deco, but we're going to create a token called DARE for Destiny Airlines. And Destiny Airlines is the bridge between blockchains. That's the branch of Destiny World. And that's what Fortis and Destiny World is building together. So of course that token will have, because we're on the EVM and we allow front running, we allow manipulation of gas. We can also allow taxes. So we're going to tax that token. Whether it will be an elite token or not, we're not sure yet. But I guess that's on the drawing board now. And a certain percent of those taxes will always go to NFT holders, which means that the tax cannot be less than 2.7%, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, no, that does sound like the elite token, which is honestly one of my favorite token standards now.
Yeah, and then we're going to have, because MetaCity and MetaVoid will have the opportunity to own property, so you can actually earn rewards on those properties in the form of digital assets. Let's make it simple or unclear, because this is not financial advice. So a part of those proceeds from those systems will also go back into NFT holders. I think we have, I can't read the screen, I have to open it up myself. There are so many of them, but there will be 0.5%, I think, for Bronze from MetaVoid, from MetaCity, and also the ROI DApp. And then it will be 0.5% from the token taxes.
Yep, that's
And
correct.
then, yeah,
Yeah,
and
so
then we
it's
also have the option to use textures on items in the 3D world, of course. There's also a Bronze Pass here, sorry, World Pass. The idea behind the World Pass is, let's say that we integrate with a project called Sidekick, and Sidekick has some really cool stuff. So we can use that World Pass, and if you redeem that World Pass, you will get something from the Sidekick platform because we're integrated with them. That's the idea behind the World Passes. And the reason we haven't disclosed those yet is because we're talking with projects, and not all of those projects are ready to be published yet, but that's the idea behind them. So Bronze is one kind of tier, Silver is the next tier, Gold next tier, etc., etc. And basically, the difference between the tiers is that on Silver you're getting a higher how to say it,
more perks.
of that those distributed whatever dividends. It's not financial advice. And the Gold one is where you get access to the decentralized autonomous organization. So you're getting basically a seat in our governance for Destiny Airlines. And I think on the Gold one, you're also getting a wholesale price, or on the real estate. I can't see that here.
Yeah, with the you said the gold one. Yeah, that I see you get. Let me see, unique avatar, weapon, spaceship. So you get something in the Meta Void. You get the villa in the Meta City. The early access to the real estate, which that
Do you want me
sounds
to?
awesome to me.
Do you want me to explain that, because we've not actually touched on that?
Yeah, please do.
So that's I can't say too much about it, but Jay Houston he owns some land in Marbella, and later on we have the plan of creating NFT digitalized scale down map where people can invest raised from those NFTs. We will build apartments and real estate, and then the revenue that comes from this land will be split to the people that hold NFTs. Real estate, that means you'll get the NFT when we get to that stage at cost price, which we'll have to pay for land.
So is that land and buildings in the
Yes.
metaverse or in the real world?
In real life.
So yeah, we found a way to tokenize actual real land into NFTs, and basically the idea behind it is that if you're an NFT holder, once the revenue season passes and there's the revenue, users will be able to get chunks of it just for holding the NFT as being part of an investor. So it's kind
That's
of
exciting.
backed by the NFT.
Yeah, no,
And
that's
it's
awesome.
a
That's
big part. The land's probably got enough 100 big apartments on a. It's like a.
I can also explain a little bit about that. I can also, because when we built Destiny World, the first part, we're always looking into the future, right? We know that the markets now are premature. People are asking me, why are you taking so much money for an NFT? It's not collectible. And I tell them that it's not a collectible NFT. It's a non-fungible token with perks, which give you something else than just an image. So me and Jesus, we spoke about the fintech side of it. Two products that I haven't mentioned here. It's something called ETF, and it's something called CRP. CRP is something we call a contract rebase protocol, where we are using mechanics from a typical rebalancing or whatever happens inside the liquidity pools. We're also using deflationary, inflationary techniques on non-elastic tokens. And the idea behind CRP is that we're connecting real-life use cases with NFTs. So we thought about that 2 years ago, actually. That's why we're building all this stuff. And the CRP will work in a way where, let's say that you add $1,000 of Bitcoin into a credit card. That's a Visa card from whatever provider. Then you go to the merchant and Bitcoin falls. So the value on your credit card will now be less than $1,000. And if you spend those money that is left, the merchant could also be applicable for the same crash. So when he returns that crypto for fiat, he will get less money. CRP will try to solve that by always guarantee that the value you insert into the CRP platform will be the value you can use for payments and also at the merchant side. And we're using something called rebasing inside a contract for token contracts. It's quite advanced, but that's how we think. So that's why we're also connecting real life use cases with NFTs, because an NFT is so much more than a collectible image. Sorry.
No, you're good, because you're so right on that. That's one of the biggest things that when I hang out with people, they're like, oh, I heard the NFT thing's dead. And it's so hard to explain to them that NFT is not about an image. It's about the technology and the use case that it brings. And there's so many different scenarios where I can think about the technology being adopted and it helping out everybody. And that's why, yeah, and I completely understand why it's hard to really explain that one, because it's more than just what it is, and it's so complex that it's a non-stop battle to try to get people to understand the technology versus these hip terms that everyone just kind of throws around and uses.
Yeah, it's very difficult. That's also why we're talking about making it mainstream. We need to kind of make that technology non-techy for normal users. Otherwise, they will never come into this space.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And even now, I'm still having trouble trying to get people to understand it's not about the money, it's about the tech. And the people that are building during this bear markets are the ones you want to be looking at, because they're the ones who are bringing real technology, real use case, while the other ones that weren't are obviously dying out and no more production. No one's building, continuing building, it's like a dying project. So for me, that's one thing that's really important.
I have the perks now. I can see them, so it's easier for me to explain.
Yeah, let's do that just to get more understanding.
Yeah, so as you can see, we're kind of increasing the perks with the different tiers. And let's say that for the bronze, you get a shaft in MetaCity, and then with silvers, you get a house, and with gold, you get a villa, which means that's a social status, right? So we're incorporating SocialFi as well as something you can make assets on if you want to tokenize that property in that MetaCity or that metaverse. That's a possibility we will build. As well as, of course, those percentages, which is increasing. We're also giving away, I think we said, was it 10% of the successful campaign revenue is going to be sent back to NFT holders. So I think we had 3% for bronze. Oh, sorry, 5% for bronze, 3% for silver, and 2% for gold. Which means that there's a GameFi thing into this, because if one guy is buying the gold one and the rest of the guys are buying the silvers and the bronze ones, that single guy will have 2% of the entire successful campaign proceed back to his pocket when it ends.
So that's already a pretty important utility, I think, because we have this Black Friday deal right now, and then you can also have the possibility of getting some fees back. So yet again, do your own research, but it's exciting.
Yeah, no, I like the gamification of it. Just because, like you were saying, some people might sleep on the bronze, and that might be the biggest winner sometimes. So, yeah, do your own research on those type of things and definitely get involved, though.
And also there's one front end minor bug here, because if you guys look at the perks, you will see that there's one, at least on my screen, I can only see one NFT ticket redeemable for Silver World Pass, Gold World Pass, etc., etc. That's actually wrong. The bronze one has one World Pass at the bronze tier. I think we set 2 on silver, 3 on gold, and 5 or 10 on platinum. I have to check the contracts. So there's a small visual bug there. So you're getting more world passes as you fly higher on the tiers.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, the social fi thing with unique weapons. I think we all played games like Fortnite or Counter-Strike, where you can actually have textures on your weapons. That's something that might be cool for game-interested guys. People also part of those perks. Whitelisting early access to all NFT and token sales. That's a no-brainer for gold funders. They are also getting access to the DAO. The platinum one is super expensive, and that's because that is for project or companies that would like to be part of our ecosystem. So we added a little bit of different perks on that one. You're getting 25% of all team fee splits. So whatever we make that goes to the team of Destiny World, Destiny Airlines ecosystem, 25% of that is going to those holders of that platinum funder OG NFT. From all the whatever we build in the future as well. You're also getting one solar system, which means that you can actually build planets, build cities, and then you can do something about those cities. You can tokenize it if you want as a project. The same applies to MetaCity, where you're getting a tower. Sorry, I'm Norwegian, by the way. And you're also getting a portal, which means that if you have a metaverse yourself, you can actually port from our MetaCity into your metaverse. And we can also gamify that with the journey builder. So if you have NFTs, you can build an adventure for those NFTs. They can fulfill that adventure, and then they get access to that portal and then into your metaverse for new rewards or whatever. That's the idea behind iterating it and looping it together. You're also getting the privilege to produce, mint, and market within our brands. So if you see that the Destiny World brand is getting stronger and stronger, you can use that for your own project because you're kind of technically a partner. And you're also getting, I think, wholesale price for real estate. And you're also a advisor, so your vote counts is weighted more than a normal DAO vote. So basically on the board without having a C status. And the last one, that was not supposed to be public, but it's for what we call the High Council, and that's for the directors of the companies, which is me, David, and Jesus. So
wait, you're talking about the last one that's like 0.08 or something like that?
Yeah, that's not for sale.
oh shit! I almost bought one. Then I was like, wait a second, it's not supposed to be there. I see there's 3 out of 5.
Yeah, but if you guys do the math, we're giving away 27.7% of all the proceeds. That goes to NFT holders, and the remaining 72.3% goes to that High Council NFT, unless we're kind of doing a merge and acquisition with another company or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's exciting. All right, so it looks like we're almost up to an hour, actually, so I think we're doing pretty well on the time. Those were all the perks, all the benefits. Unfortunately, you cannot buy that last one, so sorry, guys, for the ones who tried. Is there anything else that you'd want to say to the community that you didn't get to say?
We're working with a company called Connected. They are guiding us with the business model and marketing model and also delivery plans. So we have Gantt charts spanning 3 or 4 years into the future. We started 2 years ago. So that's where we're going to either sequence or parallelize development. We have been talking with a couple of development companies. So we know a couple of projects with good developers. And so it all starts with that campaign funding, and the result of that will decide how fast we are able to deliver, basically.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I'm excited. I want to invest. I like the idea. Like I said in the beginning, one of my favorite things is kind of to get people together who have similar views, and the whole crypto scam gives, you know, people a bad rep for crypto. And I'm just trying, for me as myself, I am trying to eliminate and not give those type of projects exposure, and only dedicate my time for the projects that are actually bringing some real use case to people. So this is one of the ones that I'm going to be showing people. Like, it's going to be right on Jumpstart. So luckily, a lot of people that already know me are already looking at Jumpstart and see it up there. So for me, this AMA was huge because I didn't know anything about Destiny World. I just saw a campaign up there and I was like, this is awesome. Like, we have someone who saw us and, you know, is deciding to use our platform. So I hope that answers some of the questions in the community for the ones that didn't know and just kind of saw it pop up there. I'm sure this isn't going to be the end of you guys. Like, we'll probably hear from you, maybe some updates, and we'll see what we can do. Like, we'll definitely get some psychic people in here, I'm sure.
Yeah, we also have a couple of questions which I can get up on screen for you guys as well if you want to answer them.
Yes, throw them up there. What kind of marketing campaigns offers does that wallet make an individual want to use it, aside from UI, speed, etc.?
Well, the most kind of revolutionary thing inside the wallet will be that you'll be able to send the token from one EVM chain to another without having to worry about the 0x address. You'll just simply put your username and that's it. It will run straight on chain, so it's instant. It doesn't have to go through smart contracts or anything like that. We've also found a way where we can merge together EOSIO chains and EVM chains under one private key. Right now, it exists, but it's too complicated, and we've made it in a way that is simplified to the point that you only have one private key. And then the utilities that Destiny World is building, we're looking to implement that on the wallet as well. So you'll have features as staking, voting for validators, basically all the stuff that they're building. And then the idea of this ETFs and cards that are backed by cryptocurrency and fiat. So that's something that it should come soon. And the idea behind it is that you have a card where you have fiat or crypto, and you'll be able to choose if you want to spend your crypto or your fiat.
All right, yeah, that was a good answer. Peter, thank you for the question. I hope that answered it. There's some things that for me, like, I like that too, because right now you get the basic stuff, and like you're saying, one of the things I have to keep up with is all the private keys for every single wallet. And like, yeah, if I could just have the one username and one private key to access all blockchains, you know, it's more to for the end user. Like, that's for me what DeFi is all about, is getting it simplified and not having to do this, that, the other to interact with the same technology across different blockchains.
Yeah, I think so as well. You know, there's so many different chains and there's so many different wallets. Why not try to create something that is simple and that can cover almost any chain or any EVM and any Antelope chain or EOSIO chain?
All right, we got one. It says, which best to hodl, tokens or NFT?
So
Well, I guess
how
the
do
NFTs,
we-
you just keep them, right?
I mean, you have to make your own decisions, buddy. We can't give financial advice. Why are people investing in Ripple, right? Ripple was a token created for removing intermediate fees between continents when you moved one asset to another asset. And people started to invest in Ripple and asked, when is Ripple going to the moon? For me, without any offense, that's the same as asking, when is US dollars going to go to the moon? You have to understand the tokens, you have to understand NFTs. So please do your own research. What we're trying to achieve here is that you understand the mindset that we have. If you like that mindset, then you know what we're going to build. And if you know what we're going to build and you like the mindset, then that answer is obvious. Sorry, mate, I can't give financial advice.
I want to add a little bit extra to that. Just imagine yourself an NFT being an original since the first day, supporting the project, and a token holder as an investor to a company, for example. Yet again, do your own research. It's like everybody's gonna have a different opinion about it.
Yeah, no, I agree. One, I guess I'll also add a little bit to it is one thing for now, the way I've started to see it is for the people who like the whole price appreciation, the volatility, then maybe stick to your tokens. For the people who like the technology and kind of don't want that anymore, want actual use case stability, possibly go with the NFTs. So again, not financial advice, maybe just kind of a perspective for the ones that go for it, because I know a lot of people do love to throw money at stuff and love to see appreciation of tokens. Then do that, and then the NFTs give use case to the technology.
And I do think the perks that these NFTs offer are quite. You might earn quite well off these with the RO app and games and all that sort of thing. So if it was me personally, I'd probably buy.
Who knows?
Not financial advice.
How long until the beta or the demo?
So we're having this guidance with a company called Connected. They're guiding us with the business model and marketing model, delivery model, all that administrative stuff. So we have something called a Gantt chart where we have a 60 period plan, which means that that's 5 years. So depending on the funding we get, which will decide whether we are able to hire more developers, and we need professional developers. We can't have students or minors because there's a lot of math behind this, and me personally don't have time to explain that math to a developer. We need professional guys. So based upon the campaign, we are spanning everything from 12 to 24 months. Depends on the complexity of the product. And of course, we are not going to develop everything before we deploy. We're going to deploy parts of it. Like it's called CI/CD. So you can kind of develop stage 1, deploy it, test it out in the market. Does it work? Does it not work? If it works, you deploy stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, stage 5. So we're not scoping everything into one big deployment in 3 years. We're deploying part by part. So that time period starts in January. That's 24, and then 25, and then we have up until 60. So six months for the ROI DApp, 12 to 24 months for MetaCity, 12 to 24 months for MetaVoid. Parallel or sequential depends on campaign funding. The same applies to Journey Builder. And I forgot what to say now. Yeah, and MetaVoid is 40% done, and we're looking into hiring a super good creative developer for MetaCity if we get the funding in place. He's already developing another game, so...
I'll just say quickly, Rabbit, the MetaVoid, they're joining us tonight to do a demo and show all the design and what's done, but because he's in your power and electric's been all over, it's hard to keep direct contact with him, get him to come and do a demo. Is up for MetaVoid.
Yeah, we should definitely have separate MAs for the MetaVoid, because that's the product that is kind of actually going live fastest, I guess. So we can speak with Sergey and tell him to get some live actions, live demos, streaming.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome.
I don't know, Tyler, if that explained or answered your question, or...
Yeah, no, I think it did. Just to kind of give everyone a time frame that's like, it's not the product's like not done right now. It needs to kind of go into the production and it takes time to build, not instant. And that's another thing that I'm sure we'll actually run into with a lot of projects in Jumpstart. So from the investor side, just know this is the difference between kind of aping into a token and trying to get some instant gratification versus being able to be part of a project from the foundation, you know, with especially with the NFTs, like that for me is one of the biggest things that changes the game, because for, you know, I've been in the space for almost, I think, 5 years now, and I think at this point, seeing the volatility in the tokens just kind of make me mad. Like, it's not mad in like anger, but just like crazy, because it's just like it's an up and down game. And now we're having actual like products with utility and use case, and it gives me like a sense of ease to know no more like with the price action. You know, it's actually about building. And let's see, we have another question that is, let's see, it says, how is the tokens or NFT work in the Meta City and Meta Void? Hold on, let me reread that again, because I don't think I understand the question. How is the tokens or the NFT work in the Meta City? So can you kind of elaborate on that question a little bit more on exactly how is the like what your question means? And in the meantime, if we have another one, we could throw it up in there.
Should I go or should you go, Hasso?
I don't understand the question
How they work,
properly
how
though.
tokens and NFTs are utilized in the metaverses. So how we're going to utilize them.
So in terms of NFTs, our intentions is to any project that is welcome to the journey, or any sort of partnerships that we create with NFT projects, they'll be able to actually give an actual usage of their NFT in Meta City. And yeah, just vibe your NFT, show it off, have utilities behind it, play around, things like that. In terms of MetaVoid, if you want to add anything to about that, Wabbit.
Yeah, it's also, I mean, the fun thing about the token and a non-fungible token is that on the NFT, you can add attributes, and those attributes could be utilized with whatever utility is possible to build on, as long as you're within the conditions of the blockchain. So as Jesus said, it's a socialify. You can show it off. Let's say that there's a tower in MetaCity where you have a door, front door. If you own an NFT, you have access. If you don't own an NFT, you don't have access. We can build whatever utility from that NFT as we want as future features.
Actually, sorry for the interruption. Adding to that, now that I've remembered, there's a portion in the Meta City video that we just saw that is an actual NFT project that might come out, and they have an area where they can ape around and have fun with other apes. So yeah, there's something in the video already.
Yeah, I saw some like with that chimp stuff, right? Chimp
You saw
City.
it.
Yeah, so game-wise is like any other game you download on your mobile phone or computer, where they have an internal store where you can buy whatever item required for that game. So NFTs will be utilized for owning or proving ownership of weapons, avatars, textures, spaceships, things you use in the game, boosting them, consumables like fuel, ammunition, things like that, health kits, whatever is you can imagine inside a P2E game. Those NFTs will prove ownership, and some of them will be permanent, some of them will be consumed. So we're just tokenizing items inside the game from Web 2 to Web 3 using NFTs, and we can bind whatever we want to that NFT because it's an NFT.
Yep. So as a summary, we have Destiny Airlines, which is the whole idea of adventure, game, having fun, spending time, meeting new people, kind of those vibes. We got Destiny World that is creating utilities for tokens, creating utilities for applications, for projects. And then we have Fortis, which is more orientated on the kind of fiat side, financial side, custodize your assets with your own identity, controlling what you do, things like that. So at the end of the day, we're covering the most important things in this market that we as ordinary users in the market and investors as well, we've seen that is something that is necessary. We've been working for over a year now with Destiny World and Fortis, and we've been building a project. We've been building a community. People already know who we are, what we do, there's full kind of transparency in that sense. And people have also seen that even though market conditions haven't been ideal for projects, we've still been building and engaging and creating. Like, we haven't stopped, we haven't become bankrupt like massive projects and suddenly disappeared in matter of days. So you can see that not all, that one of the most important things, at least for me, is that I have a passion for this. So I wake up every day, and this is basically what I do every day.
Yeah, that's a great attitude. So, same as I said to my guys, if I somehow are capable of quitting my work and having a financial security for 5 years, I can quit and go full-time blockchain, because there's so much opportunities. And yeah, there's
I mean, you was literally before this AMA, you was building, what was it what you said? You was building a shop or something like that, and you're back into crypto. And before that, building the shop, you was again into crypto. So we all have the same passion, and we
Yeah.
all we like this. So
yeah.
Yeah, no, I love it. Having a passionate individuals about a technology that not many people really understand. So I think the space really needs people like us that are passionate to keep pushing it
Yep.
and wake up and do it just because we love it, not because it feels like it's a job or an opportunity. I guess it is an opportunity, and that's why we do it, like to help push it on others. All right. Well, I think that answer. Oh, wait, no, we got another one. All right. What will the
This can be
game
the last
focus
one.
on? Okay. What will the game focus on? Is it building a fantasy city or fighting for something? Or is it an action game? Adventure, maybe?
Yeah,
It's up to your imagination.
yeah, it's
All the above.
both of those. It's an action game, it's an adventure, and we're also connecting and tokenizing it. So, and because we're building planets and solar systems, you can actually conquer. So yeah, it's building
no.
and having fun.
Sounds exciting. Sounds like you were saying, like GTA. And if anyone has played GTA 5 online, you can kind of get an idea how crazy people are. So,
Yeah.
maybe you might need some security guards. Sidekick Finance might be having some security if you need it. Well, I think that was the last one. So we appreciate everyone in the comments, everyone that's kind of stuck through. The Destiny team, is there any final words you'd like to say? And then after that, we can just kind of kick it off.
Feel free to ask us questions in our Telegram groups. That's our main social platform. I'm a social disaster myself, so I need help with social things, platforms,
I
but I
get
will
you.
try my best. And we will also have voice VCs, voice chats, whatever.
Yeah, the VC. Yeah, and that's the Telegram now. It's the new term.
Yeah, where we can cover individual topics, because we can talk for hours. Why we're building, what we're building, different tiers, different layers. So you have a better understanding of what we're doing in as a whole ecosystem. The same applies to Fortis. It's not just a wallet; it's an incubator. It's fintech. It's off ramp, on ramp. It's changing the space basically based upon our interest and understanding, and making everything go mainstream, because we want it to go mainstream. And it's not about that API or APR. It's so much more.
Right, absolutely. Make sure you guys drop your socials if you haven't in the Sidekick chat. We'll also make sure to forward anything we see. Again, we appreciate you and your time and for this product. I'm definitely gonna invest myself, and I'm sure you'll get some funding here a little bit after this ends. And I saw someone ask if it was being recorded. It is, so you can always go back and check it out.
I'll definitely be
All right.
listening.
Yeah, right. I'm trying to get the NFT now. All right, guys. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye,
Okay,
guys.
cheers.
Thank